is where the heart is. It's where the script of our life is spelled out, where life's little joys and pains and sorrows and surprises are all played out. And in Project Zomboid, home is where the heart stops beating. So it makes sense that there are so many random scenes that can spawn into houses in Project Zomboid. Unfortunately, for those in the scenes, these are not slice-of-life stories, but all too often sliced-up life stories. And I've once again, like in my Every Vehicle and Every Zone Stories videos, grouped them into similar stories. So let's start with those survivors that lived long enough to decide that they didn't want to anymore. I usually do a bit of voice acting for these scenes, but I'll forbear for now, as these would just be drinking sounds, screaming, gunshots, etc. But our first entry here might be the first hint many players get for what to do if they get bitten. This poor soul learned firsthand how well Bleach can cleanse the Nox virus out. Not much loot spawns here, but if you are in need of the cure for the virus, there'll be a bottle on the corpse, and likely more scattered around. If Bleach isn't your poison of choice, you might run into this corpse who's chosen another path out of life. You'll find more bottles on his corpse and around the body, but you can turn some of these into Molotov cocktails if you really need to scour an area clean. If you want some really good loot from a dead body, then you can hope to find a gunman scene. Though not as lucrative as a gun nut's house, you will find a pistol and or other guns on the body, usually with bullets, though understandably not all the bullets that it can hold. And for some reason, this is a completely separate random scene that can spawn. It's, as far as I can tell, exactly like the gunman scene, but placed in the bathroom specifically. Maybe for easier cleanup? But once again, look for the guns and the ammo. And for the third variation of our theme of gunmen, the Suicide Pact scene has the guns for sure, but you'll find two bodies and blood splatter on the wall behind one of them. It's a bit macabre, and maybe it's just me, but the scene evokes the feeling that the body without the gun wasn't really ready to give up on life just yet and had to be convinced forcibly.
No, it just drove past. Lights and sirens flaring like there's no tomorrow. I don't think that one was for us either.
You idiot, what else could it be for?
They don't just drive around at night with the siren on because someone escaped the slammer. At least I've never heard of it happening. Hey, Jake, what do you think? Jake? You okay, man?
These orange-clad hooligans are either lucky in that they didn't get stuck in a prison to starve to death, or if you accept the sudden airborne zombie virus story the middle wing media is trying to push on us, then they're lucky enough to have escaped to live out the last few days of life in relative freedom before they died horribly. So yeah, lucky. You'll be lucky if you find them early in your playthrough, as each one of them has a duffel that's usually full of tools, tape, or tarps, or other such gear. Either early-game weapons or late-game tools. There is also a variant of this scene where the criminals are still there, but they managed to surprise a squad of police officers that found them. And now they have company in the afterlife. This scene is great all around, as now you have bags and tools, but you also have guns and bulletproof vests and cop roleplay gear. And if you're extra lucky, a nightstick or two, which is one of the second best melee weapons in the game.
Change my mind.
If you do find some police inside, be sure to check outside for more police and their squad car. Though, how 6-ish cops came in only one car...
Mr. Smith, this is the police. We have some reports of a disturbance at this address. We'd like to check if everyone's...
That sounds like probable cause to me.
We're coming in. This is the police. We're coming to... Sir, please put down the weapon. Is that an arm? Down on the ground! Down on the ground!
Stop!
Gun sounds. Screaming.
Yeah, to my mind, this is a domestic disturbance call where the disturbance was a zombified person eating their significant other. And it makes me even happier that there are no zombie children in this game. I don't need that much realism. Thank you. Be on the lookout for the usual police gear and the cop car outside with more backup. And there will also be some other zombies, but unlike the criminals, they don't have much to offer. If there is a set of scenes that are gonna fully convince me to accept the in-game lore stated by unreliable narrators that almost everybody was affected by the airborne virus all at once,
It's these 3 scenes. By the way, I don't buy it. These Russian-backed international cheese magnates won't get me to buy their baloney. No, this was aliens for sure. The first is a sad scene of a bathroom having been barricaded from the outside. You'll find a single zombie inside with no appreciable loot, and a single dead body outside that still holds a pistol with not quite a full magazine. I would have put this on the suicides list, but for the still walking Zed inside. Secondly, we have a scene entitled BedroomZed, wherein you'll find a single Zed in the bathroom who apparently turned whilst taking a shower. The Zed is, at least, not wearing a full set of clothes. And last, we have a scene titled BedroomZed, where you'll usually find a pair of zombies in their pajamas, he said, because he runs a mostly family-friendly channel. But again, they're not carrying much loot. So you'll be hard-pressed to truly be able to spot these last 2 scenes if you ran across them in the wild. As a few of you noted in my Every Zone Stories video, the devs know their audience and have placed in 3 scenes that make us pause and realize that man is truly the monster here. And there are going to be people that take immense pleasure in joining in on the murder spree when given the chance. What's wrong, Karen? You look a bit sad. Don't you like how I've done your nails today? Where's the hair? Why don't you speak up? I know it's not the most professional, but maybe if you hadn't spent all of my money on your clothes... What's that? Oh, you don't look happy, son. Maybe I should make your smile a bit wider. In one of these scenes, you'll find a lab-coated zombie presiding over 3 or so skeletons. Presumably, he or she was the one to remove all of the soft tissue. In another one of these scenes, you'll find the medical-coated figure presiding over a pile of corpses. And in both of these scenes, the bodies and Zed will be mostly empty of loot, but are honestly just there for set dressing. The third of this type of story that you might find is titled Hocky Psycho Friday 13. And if you're a horror fan at all, you'll know instantly why. It's a great opportunity to grab yourself a long blade and a nice mask from the lone Zed, and to shiver once again at man's monstrosity towards his fellow man. Nah, it's no use. There's no real way to practice until Mitch gets here. Are you sure he's not answering his phone? And what's wrong with you, Turk? You're slurring your words and coming in late on the beat. Oh, man, you don't look too good. The world over, you'll find this scene. A group of ambitious musicians gathered together in the farthest room of the house to practice their craft. I assume when we get proper basements in version 42, we'll have a scene like this in the basement. So be sure to subscribe so you're notified when I post any related info on that, but without a basement, you'll find this practice in the garage. There's not much loot here unless you're looking for a fancy musical weapon or possibly some leather duds to bulk up your protection a bit. All right, boys, the game is poker. Aces are wild, reverses are trap cards, and the rook is high. It's dealer's choice, so I'll now release the snitch and... Oh, hey, that sounds like it's the pizza guy. Hold on, let me go get the door, without taking the time to even check why he keeps pounding so hard. Okay, so maybe I don't understand how to play poker, but I do understand a great game night. And in this scene, you'll find money all over the floor. Playing cards, booze, and discarded cans, as well as some snacks, and about 4 Zeds, give or take, depending on how many spawned into the house before this spawn. Now, I don't know why this scene is called Student Night, but I guess they were going for a bunch of students getting drunk? You will find a bunch of booze around, as well as snacks strewn on the floor, but the Zeds don't really give that student vibe. There's no papers, no textbooks. It's not like they have satchels or backpacks on, or leather jackets, or cheerleader costumes, but I guess they are kind of shambling around listlessly with little direction, less money, and no life. Now, I live in America, so when I see the scene labeled Football Night, I know what I'm getting. But something about the Zeds that are spawned in makes me think the UK and Canadian-based devs are talking about the other kind of football, the one that the rest of the world watches. But nevertheless, you will find some jersey-bedecked Zeds, a bunch of beer and snacks, but not much else. Yes, confirmed, they are naming things in the UK way over here, because both the bachelorette and bachelor party scenes are present, but they happen to be called hen do and stag do scenes by the game. They will both have a bunch of Zeds spawned in and a single stripper zombie of the other gender, as well as some munchies and drinks. And since we're pronouncing things the UK way, these cans are made out of aluminium.
Martha, I'm telling you, the radio says the CDC's been saying it's airborne and we'll all catch it. So we know it ain't no airborne infection like it's a silly cold. Ugh. This is an invasion of the lizardmen trying to take over our brains. That's why we have to use the extra thick tin foil.
Yep. Now this is my kind of party. The real fun thing to do with conspiracy theorists is to try to out-theory them. They start complaining that climate change is made up by the sunscreen magnates. Well, you accuse them of accepting the middle-wing media's lies about there actually being a sun. Ha! The least fun thing to do with them is loot them, as the only special thing is their hats and the fun scene. I can see it now. They all hide in corners and in the closet and in the bathroom behind the couch, waiting to spring out at Jerry when he gets home from the store for his birthday. And then they all turn into zombies and really surprise Jerry when he gets back. Not the kind of birthday party I'm personally looking for, but I don't really like big parties anyway. So, at least this party has cake, drinks, and snacks to loot, as well as fun party hats on all the zombies. So, there's that at least. We are still working on the random houses video, showing you all the different effects that can spawn into random houses in the game, as well as finalizing the details for our next Project Zomboid tournament and Steam Games giveaway. So be sure to subscribe, like, and comment what else you want to see us cover next.